Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Studio Series 86 Perceptor. Now, as always, Perceptor transforms into a microscope, which, let's be honest, just looks like a robot doing a funny yoga pose. I mean, just look. Now, of course, we do have the box to look at. And well, compared to the other Studio Series boxes I've looked at, this one goes for a more Kingdom style. So, we got more. Well, the artwork is bigger this time. We don't have the plastic tray, instead we have a fake version of the backdrop with the actual backdrop just hidden in there. We still have the artwork of the character on the side. Some more artwork of the character on the other side. The back, of course, we have them in both modes. Big screen inspired. The Battle of Autobot City. Also, yes, he can do the G1 Toys canon mode. If you want to read that, go ahead. Backdrop included, which I will show. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. And well, for the backdrop, well, first of all, this is the facsimile of said backdrop, which is pretty much just what the robot is attached to. Yeah, not much to talk about, but for the backdrop, it's pretty much the same as Blur's, and to a lesser extent Cup's, although his was slightly different with the size because he was a Buzzworthy figure. So yeah. So if you want to have a huge oversized microscope in the middle of Autobot City, then go ahead. Now, of course, he was more in robot mode during the scene, so we'll come back to this. Now, taking a look at Perceptor in his microscope mode, I mean, it's definitely a microscope. I mean, obviously he has this mode due to being a leftover from the Microchange toy line. I mean, of course, Soundwave is a cassette player because of Microchange, Blaster's a boombox because of that, Reflector's a camera because of Microchange. But as I said earlier, it just kind of looks like a robot doing a funny yoga pose. I'm not saying that as a complaint. I'm just saying that because I just think it looks really funny. While having a 360, just angling that down so he's actually focusing on the tray. The head is blatantly visible there, but oh well. I've got the actual I don't know what you'd call that. I don't know microscopes that well. The bit that you look into to view things up close. Who knows? Maybe he's inspecting a bit of cosmic rust. Now, one really neat thing about this piece is it's on a ratchet joint. It's probably a faux ratchet, but still nice nonetheless. I mean, ratchet joints are really rare in figures these days, unless it's like a Titan class figure. So this is definitely appreciated. some treads are visible, but that's for the second mode, which we'll get to soon. I'm not sure if it's possible to actually look in it. I'm not sure if it actually does zoom up, but you can sort of look through there. Now for accessories, you do get this gun. And well, I think the instructions just tell you to put this on the side, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know why a microscope would have a gun on the side. Me personally, I just prefer to put this on the back, out of the way. But well, can this gun actually take a blast effect? Just grab me one at random. Well, if you just put one on there, then yeah. Well, if he's one of Aimless's to color code it, well, the port's not as long, so only certain blast effects will work, it seems. So yeah, I think only certain blast effects will work. Well, that's pretty much it for the microscope mode. Now for side by side, not a comparison because I don't have any other perceptors, but here he is with Blaster, because the two were together for a scene in the movie, remember? Pretty much when Blaster first ejected his cassettes. Essentially we got the two Micro Change Autobots together. Might as well just get eject out of there as well. This will work. So yeah. And well, that's pretty much it for the microscope mode. It's definitely, well, I've got to be honest. I don't really think Perceptor as a microscope works that well. I mean, keep in mind he has to do a bit of mass shifting for it to work, kind of like Megatron's gun mode. So yeah, but at least this figure does have a second mode, so to get him into that, well, it's actually pretty simple. I mean, all you have to do is just take these bits, move them around, and just try and tap them into here. If I remember this correctly. I'm probably, in fact, no, that's actually not what you do. You actually have to move these around so that the treads are showing, and then you rotate these around so they plug in. There we go. Just gonna do this off camera so I can actually focus on getting these pegged in. And yeah, that's actually a pretty simple conversion. I mean, you just move around the legs a little bit, adjust the cannon, and well, now Perceptor's a little tank. And I don't think he ever used this mode in the cartoon, but this is actually an homage to a mode that the G1 figure had, so definitely a really cool nod. And I guess this could be repurposed as a blast shield. Wait. Boy, transforming is sort of messed this up. Oh well. But yeah, this could be like a little blast shield. This is obviously the cannon. I don't know whether or not this could actually take a blast effect. Well, I'm just gonna find out after I assemble one. Nope. Unfortunately, this can't take a blast effect. Oh well. But yeah. Now, gun storage in this mode, the instructions tell you to actually put it onto the scope. And, well, just be careful not to fully untap this mode. Excuse me. Well, after both fixing that and actually attaching the gun on, because, well, it's actually quite tight, I actually feel the gun storage makes more sense in this mode, because this is meant to more be the offense mode. So of course you can just plug in a blast effect. Unfortunately, there's no port in this mode, so you can't dual wield if you have another gun. Oh well. Well, that's pretty much it for this mode. Pretty much just a neat nod to the cannon mode of the G1 figure. So, to get this guy into his robot mode, well, to start, we're just going to actually untap the legs, straighten these out, just get these, pretty much just straighten the legs out, like so. About the feet, get the cannon out of the way, flip up the tray into the chest, get the arms out of the way. That'll let you flip out these sections. We'll get these sections out of the way. Flip out the hands. Straighten out the shoulder cannon. Try and get the head out. Get the arms out and flipped around. And just flip around the head. We'll spin around the head, I mean. And here we have Perceptor in robot mode. And yeah, definitely a simple transformation. And what you're left with is definitely an accurate robot mode. Just having a 360. I mean, unfortunately, there is a hollow bit in the back, but aside from that and the arms, that's essentially the only hollow bits I can find. Now, taking a look at the head. Once again, we've got a really good looking face. And I actually really want, well, I really want this to be retooled to have a toy accurate face. I don't know, maybe for Magnificus retool or something, and I don't know, maybe the Legacy line or something. Now, if you don't want the shoulder cannon, well, showing, you can actually have it so it's just on the back like so, which I think is really nice. Well, unfortunately, you can't have it on the right shoulder, it's pretty much the left only. But still, if you don't want it showing, at least you've got the option to just put it there, even if it does create a bit of kibble. Well, I could even call it kibble. Now, of course, we can just give him his gun. Plugs into his hand quite tightly. And if I just give this back to him, it's pretty much just all armed for battle. And as stated, this can take a blast effect. And we do have some ports there in the feet. So if we want to give him like laser feet or whatever, go ahead. Oh, if I can actually put that in the port. I mean, I'm working with red on red here, so it's a bit difficult to see fully. But there we go. And of course, with Blaster, the two look really good together. Also, I bought Legacy Blaster, despite having Kingdom Blaster. I just wanted it for the box, okay? Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But we're back to Perceptor. If I just get this out of the way for the articulation, the head can of course move side to side, and thanks to the joint for the transformation, he can kind of look up, although kind of creates this weird thing around the neck. So if you want the actual articulation, then he just looks side to side. The arms can of course move. Of course, he can T-pose. Got an elbow joint and a bicep swivel. Fortunately, the hands don't rotate. The waist rotates. Legs go up that far. If this isn't in the way, they can go back that far. Got a swivel there. Got a good knee joint. You can do the splits. You can catch a finger on there. Ow. You can do the splits. A really good ankle pivot. I mean, just look at that. Sort of unofficial, but if you want him doing this, then he can. Like he's, I don't know, squatting over a toilet. You can do this if you want. And you can move his feet. But yeah, he's definitely quite posable. So, if I just get the backdrop out. Oops. That's on camera. These things happen on camera. There we go. The backdrop always makes the pose look better, in my opinion. Well, if I can actually get him to stand, that's more just me being clumsy. But there we go. And well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. Complaints? Well, I don't like how the gun is quite tight. I mean, keep in mind, I was struggling to fit. I just cannot speak today. I was struggling to fit the gun in a couple of ports, remember? Another complaint, the hollowness around the back where the head cavity is. That's more of I mean, of course it's there for the head, but I don't know, maybe if they engineered like a flap that covers it like they did with Earthrise Prime or something. I mean, I know it's a deluxe figure, but Also, these joints for the transformation move a bit too easily. Like, maybe if they had, like, clicking points, then they wouldn't move so easily. But other than those, do I recommend this figure? Definitely. This is a really fun figure, and despite those flaws, I think this is probably my favorite Studio Series figure so far. I mean, Jazz is fun, although he does have the brittle roof. Cup is just, well, in my opinion, I just find Cup a bit boring and blah. Well, I mean, he does have that weird face, so, but Perceptor, I think Perceptor's my favorite figure so far, out of the ones I currently own. So yeah, if you don't have this figure yet, I definitely do recommend this figure, and I definitely hope they do a Magnificus one day, hopefully with the toy accurate head. But well, this has been my review on Studio Series Perceptor, and this is Charlie Young signing off.